As we worked on the body of the sweater, we wanted to set aside at each sort of main color shift that you see some yarn so our sleeves match. And to work on the sleeves, we first start off by taking the sleeves that we had set aside at the top half of the sweater onto barber cords and putting those back onto our knitting needles so that we can work each of the sleeves. So again, barber cords make this really easy. You just have to slip your needles back on and begin working the sleeves. As we have a gap under the arm from where we didn't have the body and the arm joined, we do add some stitches in order to ensure that we close that gap. So again, for small, you're adding 4 stitches, medium, you're adding 6, large, you're adding 8. But again, if you find that you have 9 or 10, we can again just adjust those by knitting stitches together as we go around to close any gaps that you may have. So don't panic if you picked up not the exact number of stitches. Again, like the neckline, I find this a little easier for me. I'm left-handed with my crochet hook, but you can do this directly on the needles if that works easier for you. I just use the crochet hook. I'm doing a large here. I've got 8 stitches, and I can slip those onto the needles in order to begin. Once I've slipped them off, we're ready to actually begin knitting, and you're first going to knit around. So you're going to be knitting the stitches that were on the barber cords from the top half. And when you get back around to those underarm stitches that you added, again, just tug the tail tight and follow the pattern to knit 2 together to make sure that you don't have any big gaps under the underarm. If you've never done underarms before, just leave a longer tail as you added these stitches, and that tail will make it perfect to close up as you tuck in your ends any gaps that might exist. So it's very easy and you'll get excellent at it with lots of practice. I'm using the regular needles I use for the body, but as you do get down to your wrist, it does get a little more difficult, so you can buy shorter needles that make it much easier as you work the arm. And when you do add those underarm stitches, as you go around for that first row, make sure that you put a marker in the middle of the stitches that you've added just to make it easier so that you know where you're starting each of the arms. And then continue to work down to your desired length.